Hey there, Cancer Energy. This is I Alone Fly Tarot, and I'm going to do a tarot card reading for you. I'm going to pick up the camera in a moment, but I'm away from home and I don't have a tripod with me. So I'll get out the cards, I'll tell you what comes out, I'll pick up the camera, and we'll work through it. See what's going on in Cancer Energy. And we're going to read it from a couple different perspectives because people have free will. Some people harness high vibe Cancer Energy. Some people harness more worldly focused Cancer Energy. And some people harness downright shadowy Cancer Energy. So far we have the Ace of Pentacles, or the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and the Page of Swords. Oh shoot, I maybe should have gotten a card underneath that of why they came out, but we didn't, so we'll do it for the next ones. And then we have moving forward in the Eight of Wands because of the foundation you operate from. Moving towards, like, facing the devil, and two cards wanted to come out for that. The Four of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. You could be, basically, as you're moving forward, defending your future, you could be communicating to people that are selfish, greedy, prideful, immature, that you're moving on. You know, because if you were to look at life as a game of life, you know, we have our own dualistic nature, our kind of fearful, insecure, immature, indulgent, selfish, greedy nature. And we have our loving, hopeful, believing nature. And then everybody else in the world has their own dualistic nature. And you could look at the game of life as that you could have come down here saying, do you think you can win this game? And you said, yeah. And they said, well, you're going to have to battle with your own worldly nature and overcome it. And you were like, yeah, I'll overcome it. But you're going to deal with other people that are going to come in your life, and they're going to try to cause you to be in your fear and your insecurity and your pride and your ego and your sadness and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, I'll take them all on. It's like, okay. Well, it looks like you're doing it. And we're going to find out how other people are moving forward in this energy that aren't harnessing that energy in a high vibe manner like you are. Okay, we kind of had a clump of cards come out at the end, so I'll show you that here in a minute. That's great. Okay. So, we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse and the Page of Swords. You might have known someone that, I don't know, doesn't nurture their inner child nature. You know, they're kind of tipped out of balance, and they might be really more aligned with their more shadowy worldly nature, their more immature nature. Like, no, I don't want to move forward. I want to keep investing in repeating patterns of the past. That's my truth. I'm defensive to dealing with my fears and insecurities, because that would mean I'd have to put work and effort in my foundation to reconcile myself with the past. I'd have to learn to nurture myself and love myself and give myself all the things that I wish other people would have given me, so I can stand up for myself and the things I believe in and choose happiness and love and become all that I can be and free myself from the past and have balance in my foundation because I am emotionally independent. That's what you're going to do and what you've done, and other people aren't willing to do that. They're defensive of doing all that. Some people don't even want to acknowledge they have a shadow nature. What? No, I'm not immature. No, I'm not selfish. No, I'm not greedy. No, it's not all about me. And it really is. They just live in a state of denial. They're kind of more immature thinking and reasoning. Kind of dictates the decisions that they make. Careful, I see a message here, Cancer. There could be someone, maybe a Libra, Aquarius, a Gemini, who wanted to maybe have a new beginning with someone in their past, but that person isn't making them an offer. You're not who they want to move forward with because you're not on the same page as them. You're moving forward. They want to keep repeating a pattern of the past, so you're basically like the devil. And so they might communicate to you that they want to work with you, that now they want to hold on to you and move forward with you and maybe have this immature new beginning to try to work things out. And they do view you as probably a very nurturing and balanced person. They don't want to be a marriage partner to you. Sorry. Because they want to be in foundations that are maybe more transactional and where they can indulge themselves emotionally in it, being in their immature nature. I don't want to have to grow immature myself. I don't want to have to face my fears and insecurities. But they might communicate with you in order to cause upset in someone else to try to get that person to communicate with them. The Four of Pentacles is Capricorn. Maybe they want a Capricorn to communicate with them. And so far, they have not been making them an offer to get in a relationship. And in order to get that person to get in a relationship, for some, they might try to, the devil can talk about trying to manipulate people and cause them to be in envy and jealousy and inner conflict and all that stuff. Some of them might communicate with you because you're, it's kind of funny, right? How they view you as the devil, but really you're kind of more like the energy of love. But they're hoping that if they were to maybe reunite with you, is what the Six of Cups can talk about, and exchange time, energy, and effort with you, that maybe the person they really would like to be in a relationship with will come in and, like the Wands can talk about communicating, saying, no, do not get in a relationship with that person. Do not, marry that person. Do not reunite with that person. You have gotten my goat up enough. I am going to step in. So I think the advice for you would be to hold back and don't bother investing your loving nature with someone who you've already probably been shown the truth that they're selfish and greedy and prideful and blah blah blah, because you've already reconciled yourself with the past. If this is someone from your past and you've done the work within yourself to heal, and you're not interested in being in a relationship with someone who likes to indulge in relationships and likes a more transactional relationship. You want to be in relationships with people who have actually emotionally matured themselves, who have reconciled themselves with the past so they don't keep repeating these past patterns of behavior, and they're free from the past and have grown and matured themselves, so they're not using these manipulation tactics and being deceptive and manipulative. That could be for some of you. For others of you, because you're not making an offer to someone, they could have decided that they're going to go indulge. They are not going to communicate with you either. And they are going to maybe reunite with someone who is willing to exchange resources with them. Time, energy, effort, hugs, kisses. And even though they could be defensive, there might be someone that would like to be a marriage partner to them. And for some of them, they're defensive to becoming a marriage partner to them because the only reason they were probably got in a relationship with that person too was kind of indulging in their pride and ego. I'm trying to get the loving Cancer people back, and I'm trying to do manipulative, hurtful, unkind things to get them up in their ego so they'll come back and get in a relationship with me. And it's like, so is that the word for if you were the one that they're using to manipulate? I wonder if that's the word patsy. I don't know. Anyway, listen to your intuition if anybody communicates with you. What is the intention of why they're communicating with you? Is it because, you might look very nurturing and loving and stable and grounded, and they want to indulge in a relationship with you, but they're still holding on to the past and old ways of being, and they haven't done the work within themselves to reconcile themselves with their past, so their past still influences the decisions that they make in their life, and they have a way of living their life that they don't want to let go of that could be selfish, greedy, immature, indulgent, whatever. Listen to your intuition. Some people could have quit investing in someone thinking you then would want to communicate with them again, even though you find them to be like the devil. Because you know they're selfish and greedy and prideful and egotistical. And they've been like waiting for you to communicate with them. Maybe thinking they're all that. You know, the devil with the King of Pentacles and, well, the devil is Capricorn energy, and I see the King of Pentacles as Capricorn energy, and they don't have to be a Capricorn. We also have the Ten of Pentacles here, which is Virgo, the Queen of Pentacles, which is Taurus, but it's earth sign energy, which can be when people get too wrapped up in their worldly nature, that is kind of what consumes them. And they would think that if they had been moving forward with someone, again, the Three of Pentacles is a Capricorn, but they found out that person was kind of not very loving or giving or selfish or greedy or materialistic, maybe just like them, they realized they wanted to hold back from moving forward with that person because they could have hoped that maybe if they got in a relationship with someone, if they knew them before and had seen them before in a relationship, they could have thought, oh, they won't repeat those same old patterns and ways of behavior with me. And then they found out that person repeats the same old behaviors and ways of being with you that they did with the old people that they were in a relationship with. And they became defensive to being a marriage partner to them. And then they were thinking if they held back from that person and didn't continue to invest in that person, that you would want to communicate with them to work together with them, because they could have thought you're kind of codependent, or they thought you'd have fear and insecurity about moving forward on your own, or because of image or status or money or materialism or ego, like I want to look like the winner, that you would want to reunite, and some of you aren't doing that. So it could really have them upset. When people try to use all these tactics to try to manipulate and control people, I can only imagine it gets really frustrating when people aren't playing the game. It's like, well, I'm supposed to do this, and then you're supposed to act like that, and then you're supposed to get in your ego, and then you're supposed to be fearful and insecure, and blah, 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 blah. It's kind of like they had your whole life story written out. They might think harnessing air sign energy, not like they have to be an air sign, but they might think that they're really smart. But the thing is about the devil and people who are working from shadowy energy, they're not like seeing things clearly. Again, they could be caught up in their own ego, and other people who aren't all caught up in their ego don't, step into the trap that they try to set for you. And so you've moved forward, putting in work and effort to free yourself from the devil, because that's what high vibe Capricorn energy is about. Putting in work and effort, taking creative inspired action in the Eight of Wands to wrap your brain around this game of life. And taking creative inspired action within your own foundation of self to free yourself from your fears, your insecurities, your self-limiting beliefs. Holding back from taking immature action. Because if we want our life to move forward in a positive way, sometimes people do things purposely, hoping that you'll act immature or impulsive or out of fear or codependency or whatever, and then they can say, see, look what they did, And, we just don't need to play into other people's games. It's like, you know what? I want to feel balanced within myself. I want to be happy within myself. I want to reconcile myself with the past. Apparently, some people in my past weren't very nice or very just or very fair. And I'm going to give myself emotionally all the things that I wish they would have given me. So with the Six of Cups and the Six of Pentacles, it talks about finding balance between your dualistic nature and going within to gain insight and understanding about what is love, what isn't love, what's selfish, what's prideful, what's unloving, unjust, unkind. And I'm going to choose to take creative, inspired action to get out of my ego about the whole situation and my inner conflict about it, or my competitive nature, or my hurt nature, or whatever, to stand up for myself. And I'm going to love me. my foundation is going to be happy. I am going to grow and mature myself from this life experience. I have no interest in repeating this pattern of relationship with anyone else again. And if I don't want to repeat that pattern, I have to hold back from acting in an immature way out of like competitiveness or fear or codependency or whatever. And I'm going to take creative action, because we can all feel those things, but we take action instead to do the work within to get balanced within ourselves so that we are ready to present ourselves in the world again to have equal give and take with other people in the world that we would like to have a long-term foundation with, other people who've done that same work within themselves, other people who've learned to fill their own cup, who are emotionally independent, who have learned to love and believe in themselves, who've reconciled themselves with the past, who aren't wanting to get in a relationship because of fear, jealousy, or codependency, or whatever. And that's what you're doing. And because you've moved on, and their manipulation tactic didn't work, they might have to settle because they don't want you to look like you have it all and they don't have it all, because that wasn't how they wrote the story and how they thought it was going to go. And they could be really upset that you love and believe in yourself and that you're moving on and you're not indulging them in their poor behavior anymore. So there might be someone in their life that either could be codependent, immature, jealous, insecure, prideful, egotistical, materialistic, that they're going to have to work things out with, because that person might really want to be in a relationship with them. And really, I would say justice is served, right? If they weren't willing to be open and honest and warm and loving and just and fair, it's not just and fair for them to be in a relationship with people who are those things. They should be in a relationship with someone who's like themselves. And I guess they'll maybe work together and maybe communicate with someone who, again, might have money and defend being in that relationship, but they might be defensive to marrying them because it's kind of not like their dream relationship, because they can't really indulge in it. In order to really indulge maybe more in a relationship, even shadowy people, it's like, I want to be with people who are giving and warm and loving and whatever, so long as they don't make me have to do any work to grow and mature myself. That's why I think I said earlier, like, they don't want to be in a relationship with you. They don't want to be in a relationship with you if you're not going to indulge them in their shadowy nature. It's like, oh, are we going to be in a relationship and do things just like the way we did, and we're going to have kind of a more of a transactional relationship and indulge? Nobody stands up for themselves and aligns with their more hopeful, believing, loving nature and becomes all they can be. That's how they want to be in a relationship with people, where you turn your back on like loving and believing in yourself and becoming all you can be, because they're defensive to doing that within themselves, and they don't want you to do that within them. They want you to invest in repeating these patterns of the past, where it's a more transactional relationship, and everybody says, isn't this wonderful? This is like a dream come true. You hold on to them because of like fear or codependency or lust or attraction, whatever it could be, and they're an unloving person, an unjust person, maybe bossy and controlling and abusive. So I think you're like, no. And they might know someone else who might want to be a partner to them. They could be a very loving person for all I know. They could have loving people that want to be in a relationship with them, maybe because they do seem like they have it all by worldly standards, because the devil promises us the world. They could have a lot of stability and security, or they could have power or influence, or they could be attractive or good looking, or at least think they are, that they think people would want to be in a relationship with them. And if they can find someone who is willing to defend being in a relationship with them, not being their authentic self, because that's what high vibe Leo energy is about, I'm going to be my authentic self. I'm going to let my light shine. I'm going to align with love and hope and faith and grow myself to my full potential. They don't want people like that. They want people who are going to defend being in a relationship with them, kind of indulging in it so they can be in it and indulge in it. So, like I say, you might have some people communicating with you. Just listen to your intuition about what their intentions are. Some of them could communicate to you that in the past they felt like you held back from them and you went and got in a different relationship, and that really has caused them some frustration or whatever. And you might communicate and talk to resolve it, because if somebody is upset about what happened in the past, we certainly need less people in the world being upset about the past. And you would be, maybe offer them the encouragement and wisdom that you've gained and how you've grown and matured yourself. And who knows if that would work out to be a relationship, or if nobody, that it didn't work out in the past for a reason. Maybe everybody didn't handle it so well. Who knows? But some could go into a relationship. Some would be defensive. Some just want to kind of indulge, and you'll just listen to your intuition about it. Other people you just might emotionally nurture to help them reconcile themselves with the past, so they're not taking it personally about whatever could have happened in the past, and that, you want everybody to love and believe in themselves. Oh, I just noticed there's a card peeking out that I hadn't seen. Oh, the Ten of Swords. That adds an extra spin to the reading. There's some people in the world that are very jealous, prideful, competitive, and for some of you, you could have been in a relationship and someone who's maybe not very stable and is very prideful or competitive or jealous and envious and stuff could have communicated to someone you were in a relationship with that they should hold back from being in a relationship with you, that they wanted to be in a relationship with them and they wanted them to be defensive to you and they wanted to backstab you because, you're kind of more stable and nurturing and loving and mature than they are. And some of those people move forward with that person, and then that person held back from actually making them a marriage partner because they really weren't getting in the relationship they might have told them, you should leave those people and come get in a relationship with me. I think we'd be like perfect together. And but then once they got in a relationship with them, the person held back from doing any of that because that wasn't the intention of it. I just wanted to backstab your partner. I don't like your partner, so I'm going to try to break you guys up, and then I'm going to move on. Or vice versa. Something happened. Someone could have thought, oh my gosh, they've moved on from a relationship. I bet we'll be in a relationship. And what they didn't know is the person they thought they were going to go get in a relationship with, they thought for sure they're this like loving, nurturing person because they might have seemed like that in a relationship with you before you ended the relationship because you saw the truth. And then they found out the truth too. It's like, oh, you're not who I thought you were. I guess I now know why your former partner turned their back on you and was defensive to you. I didn't see that you're kind of controlling or manipulative or whatever in a relationship. So I think high vibe people, you and the people in your life, whether you're in a relationship right now or not in a relationship, but between your friends and family and coworkers and siblings and everything, you and all the people in your life are all doing this work within yourself to nurture and love yourself and maintain balance and reconcile yourself with the past. And there might be someone in your life who isn't going to move forward with you because for some it could be a Capricorn, for some it could be a father figure, and for some it could just be someone who's more aligned with their egoic nature than their more loving, intuitive nature. And they have some lessons to learn. And they're going to go repeat some patterns of relationship that will probably not work well because, the devil shows up too when we have fears and insecurities and ego or self-limiting beliefs to deal with. And are we going to do the work or not? And so far, they might have been unwilling to deal with those. And they're going to keep repeating a pattern of moving forward, maybe kind of being like an immature player, because shadowy Sagittarius can be that, where it's kind of like, I want to be in relationships where I can just be selfish and greedy and blah, blah, blah. And it's kind of like I'm sending a message to the other people in the world, like, look at me, look what a great life I have. It's like, yeah, I think you don't know it yet, but you're creating a little hell for yourself because you're not like growing and maturing yourself. You know, you can indulge in all sorts of things in the world, just like drugs or alcohol. And the things of the world are meant to be enjoyed from a place of love, not in place of love. That's unhealthy. And it'll get a hold of you by the short hairs, and sometimes you might not get back out of it. And you've probably learned those lessons and some other people haven't. And they're going to go indulge in whatever it is they indulge in. And they're going to keep repeating these patterns in their foundation, thinking it will make them happy, emotionally indulging in the world, repeating these patterns, being defensive to love, being defensive to growing and maturing themselves. And, you know, how do people respond when there's people in their life that are selfish and greedy and immature and defensive and prideful and egotistical? People distance themselves from them. And those people no longer have a leadership position in foundations. People no longer want to exchange their time, energy, and effort with them. And that's maybe when they realize that, you know, because some people, they can think there's no consequences to their actions, so long as people don't maybe really know the truth about why I do what I do, and I can create some illusion as to why I do what I do, and confuse people about the truth. That's the devil trying to confuse people about, why do I hold back? Why don't I communicate? Why don't I take more hopeful, believing, creative, inspired, intuitive action in my life? Why do I take action in these kind of more immature ways of being? And they try to confuse people about the truth. Well, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. And I think they're going to have a lot of people that no longer view them the way they maybe used to view them. They might have used to view them as a very stable, grounded, nurturing, supportive, you know, good boss, good community member, good family member, you know, a nurturing person. And I think people are going to see the truth that they're more interested in indulging. So there you go, Gemini. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next... Oh, wait, this isn't Gemini. This is Cancer. Well, I don't... You know, the only card on here in the deck is the Ten of Swords, which is Gemini energy. And Gemini energy is a dualistic sign, and it has to do with what aspect of myself am I going to align with that I believe I can manifest my dreams into reality. Some people align with love and hope and faith and belief, and other people align with their shadow nature. I think the way for me to get most of the things that I want is to be, you know, like manipulative or selfish or greedy or prideful, or if what they want in the world is people to view them as having all this stability and abundance, or really indulging in the world like they're living the life, I think they're going to find out it doesn't work out the way they want. They harness shadowy Gemini energy also, which is also represented by the Lover's card in the tarot, which used to be called the Choice card. Love is a free will choice. We can choose to love and believe in ourselves and choose to be loving and nurturing and supportive to others, or we can think it's optional. So there you go, Cancer. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.